Alright, I'm Cody Clark, and I built a PC for you guys to look at, and I also showed you what you can get for the same price if you buy a pre-built one. Do-it-yourself PC parts. This is just a list. You don't have to look at that yet. I'm going to go over those. My power supply and case, it's a different case than down there. That's actually like my dream case that I want. It has LED
Which one's
lights.
your dream case? That one down there or
This
that
one.
one?
The one on the screen is my dream case. It has LED lights of every single color. You can switch it to a solid color of all LEDs, and it has 2 rows on the top. There's no spot for a optical drive though. But that's not too terribly bad. My power supply is 850 watts. It's $59.99. That one is actually in my PC right now. You have cables in here that you just select how many you need. You don't have to plug all of them in or have all of them plugged into your power supply. I have 3 total in my power supply. And that powers everything I need it to do. So it's easy to use. That's basically just what that. The case itself, I think it said it had about 2 3.5-inch hard drives, like cases for it, and 2 2.5-inch hard drive slots. And there's a hard drive case on the bottom that holds all those. It has 2 fans built in it on the top and the back, but it can fit 6 fans, like I need.
Okay, so the power supply is $59.99, and that case,
Is
which is the
$69.99.
Thermaltake Versa C22 RGB, is $69.99. Okay.
The monitor and hard drive, I also have both of those with mine, but I showed you a picture of the monitor bringing it in. I love the monitor myself. It shows a great picture. It's not a 4K monitor, it's just an LED. It doesn't have sound, but you can get a quick speaker setup for like $7 off of Newegg. But my personal one is a $50 setup with subwoofers.
So that's $89, and it has DVI and HDMI.
Yeah.
Okay.
It used to be $110 when I bought it, but they knocked it down. And then, let's see, the Toshiba P30, whatever the actual name is, this is $20 more than the one I have in mine, but it's the exact same model. This one is 3 terabytes instead of 2 terabytes. If I would have known that there was more of them, I probably would have got the 3 terabyte one since it's only $93. On Amazon, they only had the 2 and the 1 terabyte, but on Newegg, they had more. It's 7,200 RPMs, so it's pretty fast. It connects to SATA 3, 6 gigabits a second. So far, it's been great for me. I haven't had any issues with it. It loads everything really fast. And then I don't have a video card in mine, so this is the one I would get. It's just a cheap 1080. Most of the 1080s, their speeds are all about the same.
So you're defining $500 as cheap?
Yeah, it's the cheapest one on Newegg.
Oh, okay. It's the least expensive. Cheap denotes has annotations of not good.
Okay,
right?
well you can go buy a
So I would say the
$1,000 one.
least expensive GTX 1080.
Alright, well let's just rewind a second.
That's the way I would say that.
This is the least expensive.
And just so you know, you're confusing us a little bit between the 2 PCs. Just talk about the presentation PC. And then say in this build, because when you keep saying it, you kind of confusing me which one we're talking about when.
Both.
But so this is the least expensive GTX
On Newegg.
1080 that you could find
Yeah.
on Newegg. So you didn't look
literally
anywhere
put
else, just looked
lowest
on
price
Newegg?
because all their
Okay.
speeds are like so similar and the prices are so different. I don't see why you would go with anything more expensive unless you just had a personal preference.
Okay.
So its clock speed goes up from 1632 megahertz up to 1733 megahertz. Has 1 HDMI, 3 D subs, and 1 DVI, but up to 4 monitor support. So you cannot connect 5. There's 5 connectors. Yes.
Okay. Wait, hold on, go back. How much RAM did that have on? Did you tell us that? 1080?
8 gigabytes.
8 gig,
DDR5.
did it say on there?
No, it didn't.
That's a, we know from chapter, whatever that was. That's an important piece of information on the video card. Okay, go ahead.
Well, I know it has 8 because that's what I searched up. Alright, so for RAM, I got 8 sticks of 32 gigabyte DDR2400. The RAM is actually, it only has 12 cache latency. The only faster ones that were on there was 11 and 10, but the cost went up so much that I didn't want to neglect the other parts in that build. It cost $329, and then the solid state drive I got is actually an M.2. It's 250 gigabytes, about $130. Read speeds of 3,200 megabytes a second. Same, the write speed is 1,500 megabytes a second, and then 4K read and write is 300 to 330,000 IOPS. And this is actually
Which
the
is
one I'm gonna
crazy.
This is actually the one I'm gonna end up getting over the summer.
Okay, that's your end goal.
Oh yeah, and besides, I'll be on Skyrim like bam in the game. The Mr. Full quote of the
and that's really that price has gone down at 129 for the 250. I wonder where the 500 will be.
Garrett actually showed me 250 is where it's at.
Is it okay?
Yeah, Garrett showed me this one because he was like, "Look, just grab this," and I was like, "Oh, I want."
Well,
that.
I mean, you could get a regular SSD 250 cheaper, but not a ton cheaper. I mean, a regular 250 is going to be $80.
Yeah.
And that's
Speed.
crazy faster. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Alright, my motherboard and CPU. I'm going to start with the CPU because I'm going to show the motherboard inside the build right there. The CPU is an i7 7700K KB Lake. It costs $350. This is the one that, never mind. I was going to say it's the one that I wanted in mind, but it was too expensive. 4.2 gigahertz, but you can overclock it to 4.5 gigahertz. It's 4 cores, 8 threads, has 256 kilobytes of L2 cache, and then has 8 megabytes of L3 cache. The motherboard is a $250 motherboard. It supports for CPU LGA 1151, i3, i5, i7, 7th gen. Also takes the RAM I showed earlier, DDR2133 to DDR21400, all the way up to, if you want to overclock it after that, you can go up to DDR4 4000. And then it takes 64 gigabytes of total RAM within 4 sticks. It has 6 SATA 3 connectors, 2 M.2s, one with a heat shield on it, and then the onboard temp gauge, easy access overclock switch. And that's the one I actually have in here. Do you want me to show you guys?
Sure.
Just leave it down. Okay. 1 second. I don't want to take that
Can
down.
you just unplug the fan and take that off?
Because then it's going to be forever for me to get that in my hand. It's
Okay,
too fat.
that's fine. We don't want to make you take forever.
Okay. So there's the M.2 heat shield, and then the temp gauge is up on the top, but it's only in Celsius. And then all my SATA connectors are along the side.
How much RAM do you have in there right now? Those are
Uh,
some big heat sinks on that RAM.
8 gigabytes.
8 total. Those are 2 4s right there.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks really big. Does that look like tall RAM to you, or is it?
Yeah.
I mean,
That's what I mean. That's not negative. I was like, wow, that's some tall RAM.
I just remember you said that the least amount for a gaming one, 8 gigs, so I grabbed it.
So you went with 8
I
gig.
did. And that one's actually 2133, not 2400, even though I can upgrade to that at any time
Right.
without overclocking.
Well, you
Yeah.
got 2 slots left, so I
Yeah.
would,
Just add 2 more.
yeah, just add 2 more. Yeah.
Easy access overclock switch right there. You can just turn it and overclock it. It has 10 settings on it, and just not overclock, and then it goes overclock.
Are you saying you don't even have to go in the BIOS on this one?
Yeah.
You just go.
Yeah, you can
turn it
just
up.
Turn it.
That's pretty cool.
And then if you're on it,
Never heard of that.
it has a built-in like software to where you can overclock by clicking a couple things and it just resets the PC, and then there you go.
Okay.
I always have my overclock.
And that is the power supply that you were talking
This is the
about.
power supply that I have.
Have you guys?
on the-
I've shown you guys modular, haven't I? Have I shown you guys? Okay.
This is on the 3B.tech site.
Okay. Oh, it was. It was a
Alright.
good deal on 3B Tech.
$60 for 850 watts. Better than anything I can find on Newegg.
Did you have to pay tax on it?
No.
Okay. That's
I
the other
don't
thing.
think
is
I
that-
even had to pay shipping.
No, 3B Tech never charges shipping. I just didn't know if they had changed with the new laws to. Because technically they don't have to, as long as they don't have one in state. And Ohio's been pushing to try to make everybody pay tax. Apparently
Ohio
they did.
should.
Yeah, it's a good deal. And the nice thing about those modular cables is the fact that you don't have to have any cables that are just crumpled up in the corner not being used.
Yeah, no.
The downside is that you actually lose a little power every time you do a connection. So they're not as energy efficient as one that's wired fully, but how much do you lose? How much is that a factor? I don't know. There used to be an article you guys read on that, but they took it down.
That's probably what all this chart thing here is
Probably
for,
shows,
but
yeah.
I don't understand it that well. And then this is the hard drive I used earlier in the presentation. But
So
this
you
one's
don't
2
have
gigabytes.
a solid state in yours. You're waiting. Oh, down there. Okay.
It had a spot that screwed into the bottom, so I put it
Gotcha.
there. And then the other one's supposed to go here, but I haven't figured out how to set it there yet. So I just hide my wires over there and behind it.
Okay.
Alright. The M.2 is going to go right there when I get it.
Right.
Because why not put it in the one that has a heat shield? And the second
Well, there's
M.2
only one. The other one
Oh.
that probably isn't a PCI.
Yeah.
Most of them, if they have two, they look like the same thing. But usually, one of them is a Wi-Fi connector spot, and one of them is a PCI
Oh.
hard drive connector spot. They just look similar. You could be both, but that, like the one that we got for here at school, the other one is for internal Wi-Fi.
Well, I'm planning on maybe getting a Wi-Fi card because everybody brings their PCs together at Brighton's house and Austin's house sometimes. And
How
You need
are you
Wi-Fi.
gonna play?
exactly.
You can always get a USB one. The USB ones work too.
No, I'm gonna tilt it. Come on, you got this.
It barely looks like you've used it. Oh, no dirt at all.
Because I open it all the time, wouldn't it? Not really.
Okay. So that's not the CPU you actually have in the one you
No,
built.
I have an i5 7600, I think.
Okay.
And then the CPU heatsink and optical drive. The CPU heatsink is $20, has one LED fan on it, it has 4 cooling pipes that actually come in contact with the CPU. And then you can upgrade to a second fan. You can actually just buy a fan and hook it onto the other side if you wanted to.
Oh, really? Okay.
And then it's adjustable for all of the ones down here. So I'm guessing just by the fact that it's adjustable like that, I'm gonna say all the ones down here because there's too many. LGA 1151 is the only one I
Oh, you don't have to say that. You don't have to go through all that things.
Oh, yeah.
The only thing I was reading your last line,
Yeah,
there,
there you go.
and the P should be capitalized. But the only thing
I don't
adjustable
think you
for
deserve
Intel, isn't there an I in Intel?
Oh snap!
Is that what that's supposed to
I
say?
think I might have. Because
Now,
I
when
was
you read it, it does read Intel, but that's not
I was
the
messing
right
up on this a
Intel.
lot. Every time I was like pasting, stuff would paste up here.
I would say adjustable for AMD or Intel because that's what it is. It depends on which one. The only thing I'm going to say on this one, and there's nothing wrong with this heatsink. It's $20 and that's a good price. This a heatsink with 4 pipes is not one that I would overclock on.
I'm overclocking on that one.
Alright.
And it only has 3. I'm just
It had
kidding. It has
3?
4.
No,
But-
it has 6.
Does it really?
Yeah. See, if you see 3 on each side, that
I
means
see
it has
4
6
on each
pipes.
side. Oh, so it's an 8 pipe? I see 4 on each side, but that
So-
one has 4 on each side. And it says 4 down here.
There's how many? Well, I'd have to see the picture from the underneath
Do you want me
because
to
that
click
doesn't
on that?
really make sense.
I will go to that link.
Oh, see, you've got 8 pipes. I can see 4 right there on that side.
But doesn't that count as one single pipe because it goes all the way through?
I don't know. Is that how they count them?
I thought so. I mean, that's what the thing told me. It said 4.
Okay, I always thought this is a pipe, this is a pipe. So, well, then that's fine. You would be able to overclock with that one. But I would probably think about a second fan. You don't have to, obviously.
I would definitely go on a second
Well,
fan.
2 fans pull more air through than 1.
Yeah.
Not really. The amount of air that can get popped by is the amount of air. I mean, it might slightly more. The difference is that if one fan goes out, you're never going to burn up your CPU.
I would grab another one just because if you want to grab another fan, it costs like $7 for just
Okay.
a fan, and then you got
No, that's a
2
perfectly
fan.
good one. So they're
full
counting
cooler.
a pipe as all the way through, which means it's 8. To me, I would say that. Was
Okay.
Because there are some that only have 3, I guess, which is 6, and I've seen some that only have, I guess, like 2 on either side, which I guess they're calling 4 since it goes all the way.
You're
through.
confusing me now.
Anyway, my point is that the number of pipes, when you're looking at it, if there's only a couple coming off each side, it's gonna dissipate heat, but not as well. But that one's just, you don't see ones with any more than that.
All right.
Okay.
So the optical drive is less than $20. It doesn't need to be said. The only reason I put it
What
in
kind
is
of? Why would you get a USB?
why? Because it doesn't have a slot.
Oh,
for
there's
one.
no internal. Gotcha.
And I mean, I could open it up and hook it up whenever I needed to download something, but I didn't think that would be useful.
Gotcha.
2. I'm tallying. 2.
These 2 people I should have given detention to. Is that
No,
what
that
you're
was the
saying?
same guy. Like I told you, he comes in every day or every other day. Every time I'm in this class, he comes in and gets a freaking.
And it's only
thing.
7:56, so
All right.
I should lock the door first.
Mouse, keyboard, and mouse pad.
Okay.
I have pictures at the end that you'll see. They're blue finger USB wired mouse and keyboard because I don't like using batteries. I have these on my PC build at home. The keyboard switches from 3 different colors: purple, red, and blue, and you can also make them pulse, one single color, or pulse between all 3. The mouse has 4 different colors. It has purple, red, blue, and a pink.
Is Blue Finger the
brand.
the brand? Okay, I've never heard of that.
They're like $30 to $40, and you
Okay.
get.
Well, you're gonna click on the link because we haven't clicked on a link yet, so I want to look at one of the links.
All right.
Yeah.
Anybody have one?
No.
Thank you.
All right. And the
Click on a
mouse.
link. Let's see a link.
The mouse pad's pretty nice too.
Oh, you gotta use the mouse. Oh, you know, it's on the right screen. Keep sliding till you go. Keep going right.
Oh,
Keep
great.
going left. There you go. See.
Hello. All right.
What are you doing? Just click on it.
I did click on it.
It's not a link. You cheated us.
I
You
did-
just
I do
underlined
have-
stuff.
I do have a link. All right, hang on.
No,
Okay.
go back into the slide.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't do it. What? Just go down to the bottom and go to the.
Current slide.
Okay.
Click.
Good. So I don't have to take
There.
control.
Just click the
Just
link.
click on it.
All right.
Oh, now it is on the other screen, probably.
Slide it over here, Mr. Poole.
That's what I'm doing. I'm sliding. Is that VR? Blue Finger US. That is kind of a busy
Whoa.
thing.
Oh yeah, no. The one I got has as many LEDs as I could get for like $40.
So you don't go to sleep when you're playing. Have the slipper on.
Oh heck no. Actually, when I bought it, it was like $32, and they just raised the price recently.
What has the key response on it?
Oh great! Like it's.
Is it the ones that like? Is it like chiclets, like the
They
laptop, or do
stick
you
out
get the
farther
real
than
feel,
these.
the real
You get the real
click?
feel, real click.
Mechanical.
Yeah. Okay. Super mechanical.
That's what I like too.
I love those.
All right. So you've seen that. Do you want to see the other 4 options? There's 3 options of mouse pads.
You mean on the color?
No,
Click
hang
that.
on. They got.
Third
No,
picture.
what's it? They got like less active ones with less cracks on it up there, and then they got one that comes with a headset, and they got blue
That's
one.
okay. I just want to know which. I like that one the most.
I like that too.
It kind of looks like R2D2.
It matched this, but They didn't like. They added it after I already bought the other one, and then I was like, no. But
Yeah, that would have gone with your
oh yeah,
gaming system.
that would have been great.
better.
And it also switches between all the colors.
I like that one.
So now you just make me mad.
Is that?
You wanna buy that one for me and we can trade? Oh yeah, that's the mouse pad that comes with
Well,
it.
why would I buy that one for you when I said I like that
Because.
one? Okay, go ahead.
And this is the mouse pad that comes with it. It just says blue finger and then it shows like a red print hand.
It's blue.
No, don't close it. Minimize it so that if you click on another link, that we get it back to the same screen.
That's what you want.
Okay.
Alright. Okay. the
Okay, so
pre-built piece.
we don't have a total? Because you haven't told us how much money that you had to spend.
I have the total in my Newegg private checkout.
We're going to see that later.
Yeah, I'll just click away.
Is it on your chart?
I don't think so.
No, you don't have totals on
I don't
your
think I
chart?
even got a chart. Junk, done, presentation, there you go.
Did you seriously not do a pre-built?
Just messing.
Oh.
Okay. It's called the Main Gear Vibe custom gaming PC, $2,030. Mine runs like.
Okay, so you had the answer to my original question that I just asked. You had $2,000.
Yeah,
Okay.
but I only used like.
See, the presenter also
$30
gives an
over.
overview of the funds available for the project.
Well, that sucks. Anywho, this thing sucks. It's garbage. There you go.
Okay,
End
so
presentation.
so this one was one that you got to go through and pick each individual item.
No, I
Or
found
is-
this on Newegg and it just had all the parts.
Pre-config with every. Okay, so let us see what we got here.
Okay, what we got is the info.
Okay.
And on the info, we got a 500 watt power supply, which sucks. Boo. And then we got Windows 10. Alright, fair enough. I got Windows 10 on mine.
Yeah, we didn't see that on your list.
Windows
Yeah,
7 is
no.
better.
I'll show you my shopping cart at the end. I have
Okay.
all the pictures of my
Oh,
shopping
you have a
cart.
screenshot of the
Oh, yeah,
shopping.
I have
Oh,
screenshots of
okay.
everything.
That's just okay.
NVIDIA GeForce GTX 1070. I don't think that's useful. It's useless compared to mine. You're welcome.
Compared to the 1080, but
Yeah,
I would
oh, yeah.
still appreciate the 1070 at my house.
I'm sure Brighton would.
Well, for fun, I built it. I found all the pieces and I built it, and it was that much instead of 2,000.
Oh, you're saying you could buy the exact same pieces for $1,200?
Actually, I could buy better pieces for $1,200. I bought a better power supply because the 500.
Well, let's just
was
go
like
through
30.
what this one is.
All right.
We've already seen one building.
And then 16 gigabytes of 2666 RAM. All right. Speed over capacity? I don't think so. Capacity is better. Solid state drive with 250 gigabytes. Doesn't really tell you much about that, but it has a hard drive of 1 terabyte running at 7,200 RPM. Asked for a garage, not a closet, not my storage space. No monitor or optical drive. Intel i7, 770K, 400 gigahertz, same one as me. Alright, I see where they got some price at. Liquid cooling, it's better, but you don't really need it. And just for fun, I built it for way less. Works cited. Do you need to check my works cited?
No, you can go ahead and continue.
And then, let's see, this is the power supply I got off of 3B.Tech for $59.99. This is the keyboard you already saw. And then there's my case, my monitor, hard drive. Everything. Oh, there's my Windows 10.
Okay. So altogether, you spent
1,700.
Hang on. $1,921.54 plus $59.99 plus $38.99
what?
because I had two other ones. So
Oh, this is the total.
the total is an extra $100 exactly.
So you went over.
by
you're saying it's-
$21.54.
And I mean,
So
you
I
didn't
was-
okay.
count the promotion you got?
Yeah, no, I put those in there so I knock the price down.
Okay, gotcha.
So I made it within $21.
So yeah, okay. So you were within 50.
Yep.
Which is all we were shooting for.
Done.
With all the components. Okay. Hold on, we're not done.
Done.
Okay. So we didn't do a chart. There was no chart. Comparison chart.
I didn't see the chart on the
How can
rubric.
you give yourself a 10 on the chart when there's no chart?
Oh, I just circled 10 on everything. I didn't
Student
read
does
chart.
not components show the cost. Oh, you did show that.
Technically,
I'm
I
gonna
did
give
have-
you that right there.
Technically, I did have a chart. I just didn't actually chart them up.
The only thing I would say, I mean, you did compare stuff. I'm gonna give you there on the comparison too, and that's okay. The only thing I would say is go back, just the back arrow. Your groupings were kind of cuckoo bird.
I just,
Go
I'll show
back.
you. I'll show you where I
Go
went
back.
from.
Back. Just go back. Back. Keep going back. Hey, just keep hitting back arrow until I say stop. Okay, so okay, forward one. Okay, so why does the heatsink go with the optical drive?
Because they're the cheapest parts
Well,
on the
that-
PC.
But see, optical drive, if you're gonna group it with something, goes with hard drive.
Yeah, but
Memory,
the hard drive and
it
SSD.
just your things didn't really. I would have rather seen separate slides than to group things together in a logical manner.
Let me show you how I grouped them together.
See, so like.
hang on.
Okay.
This was with that. This was with
Yeah.
that. This was with that. This
That's
was with that.
that's
this was
not
with
a logical way to group. Is all I'm saying.
that. Done.
So I would have thought about.
Except for this, I put those two together and then. Just
Well, see, but I was
worked it
glad
out.
the CPU and the motherboard were together. But the other things kind of didn't really make
I
sense.
had an odd number. Come on.
The case and the power slide go together. Why would the monitor and the hard drive? Monitor and video card would go together. Those two would kind of logically go together. Just that was the only thing. And then obviously we need that chart at the end that says this is better here, this is
You know
better
what? I'm
here,
running
this is
my
better.
computer
Hey, you
right
talked about it. That's why I'm not taking off all points because of my rubric. You did show the cost of the individual components. You just didn't give us the chart that we wanted. That logically said this is better here, this is better here.
You
And
know what?
obviously you put great text in there explaining which one was better.
Oh, I know I
And
did.
stuff. So, okay, let me go ahead and stop this, and we'll move on with our next thing today. Hopefully, I'm still recording.